Okay. It was different, I think. Also, Alex makes a life altering decision, and we're not told what the F it is. Don't know. Um, Welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina, Kristina. This is where we read books and talk about books. No special effects, no theme music, no fancy smancy stuff here. Just reading books and talking about books. And we've been doing James Patterson's Alex Cross series for a while now. I think this is book 25. If you could please check out my Star Trek Next Generation recaps on Friday, my If Then Friday afternoons. I got a little carried away with Halloween. We did horror, suspense, thriller, cozy. It was it lasted a while. And we're into Thanksgiving, so please check those videos out. And we're doing the C.S. Harris Sebastian St. Cyr series, and of course, Alex Cross. This is book 25 in the series, The People versus Alex Cross. It's a little bigger than the previous books, and I thought it was going to take a while. It didn't. And there was a huge surprise at the end, which I didn't see coming, and I should have. But my question is, why do you put the past behind when you should put the past in front? But anyways, Alex is on trial for murder, and why? All right. So he's on trial for murder. He's not in prison. I haven't heard anything about a bond or anything like that. No word on a bond or, what the proceedings were or anything. We start the book off with the court case. And, so we've got a couple of different things going on here. Just put this over here. Let's see if you can see her. There she is. There's my gal pal. So Alex is on trial for 2 homicides, but he's not in jail. He's home with his family. He's on leave for the police department. And I don't understand why. I mean, if you've read the last book, the ending of the last book, and if you would please go check out my New Year's Eve Dirty 30 video, you will see her identity. She goes off every single video, regardless of time of day. She doesn't tell time anymore. Miss Clack over there hasn't told time in about 10 or 15 years. And I made the mistake of replacing the battery about 3 or 4 years ago, and she told time for a while, and she got stuck at 9:30, and somewhere along the line she must have told time for a couple of minutes here and there, and she ended up at 10:30. Now she's at 11, but she rarely ever chimes 12. It's mostly 8, but check out Dirty 30 before I get too talking about her. So, where's my glasses here? He's charged with a double homicide. And I won't spoil the whodunit, but obviously if Alex is on trial, then apparently they think he did it. But there's another case in here. Mine was a complex trial case as she'd ever seen, she said, with threads that extended deep into my past. About 15 years ago, a psychopath named Gary Sanjay went on a kidnapping and murder spree. I put him in prison, but he escaped several years later and turned to bomb buildings. Sanjay had detonated several, killing multiple people before we cornered him in a vast abandoned tunnel system below Manhattan. He'd almost killed me, but I was able to shoot him first. He staggered away and swallowed by the darkness before the bomb he wore exploded. Flash forward 10 years, my partner at DC Metro Police, John Sampson, and I were helping out in a church kitchen. A dead ringer for Sanjay broke in and shot the cook and nun, and then he shot Sampson in the head. Miraculously, all three survived, but the Sanjay look-alike wasn't found. It turned out there was a cult dedicated to Sanjay that thrived on the dark web. The investigation into the cult led me in a roundabout way to an abandoned factory in southeast DC, where three armed people wearing Sanjay masks confronted me. I shot three, killing two. But when the police responded to my call for backup, they found no weapons on any of the victims, and I was charged with 2 counts of murder and 1 count of attempted murder. Um, that's the basis of his trial. Then we have the second case that John Sampson and Bree are tackling, although it's more John Sampson than anything. It's someone is kidnapping blonde girls and being a blonde girl. I'm not happy with this either. Okay. Kathy Dupree's. She disappeared from her home in a small town in southern Pennsylvania 10 weeks ago. The neighbors claimed an ambulance came and men dressed in EMT uniforms rushed into a house and took her out on a stretcher, but there was no record of a 911 call or a private ambulance request. Then he calls up another video. Delilah Franks, a bank teller in Richmond, Virginia, who vanished 6 months before. Don't they think her boyfriend was responsible? She was having an affair behind his back, but maybe that's a coincidence, but maybe Delilah was taken for another reason. You think you know that reason? Show her the pair first. Fox typed a third time and showed Bree a split screen featuring portraits of 2 teenage girls, both blonde, both very cute. That's 17-year-old Jenny Krause on the left. Allison Dane, 16, is on the right. Both girls disappeared nearly 7 months ago from Rural Hills, Pennsylvania. Because the families and the police have kept it mostly quiet, the parents of both girls are devout Christians. They and the sheriff believe the girls ran away because of their parents' extreme views about the evils of lesbians. The girls were lesbians, so they weren't going to pursue it. You're kidnapped. You're tortured. And your parents are not going to look for you because you're gay? What the F? Your parents would like to see you dead because you're gay. That is horrific. That is horrible. That is disgusting. That is really, really rotten. I have no words. So then there's this kid who is a small spoiler. He's going to save the day. However, he will save the day posthumously, however you say that, posthumously. Because they won't find the evidence that he had until after he's deceased. And it's a shame the poor kid had to die. But that is Patterson for you. So then, we have another case of a depressed cop who was also involved in her own little shooting thing. And her ending is not good either. So this story is usually the Alex Crosses is about 300 pages, about 101, 102 chapters. Some chapters are really small, some chapters are really big. We also have some what you call it? Family. There's quite a few family issues going on. We have quite a few family subplots. I think I started to mention this before and I got sidetracked by Miss Clock over there. Nana won the lottery, so the family is quite set financially. None of them really have to work forever, but they're still working. And I think that's one of the reasons why Alex decides to choose a different occupation, although we're not exactly told. It's just he's telling Bree that he's made a choice, but we are not told what that choice is. So we don't know. So there's stuff with Allie. There's 2 cases with Allie going on. He has 2 storylines. The kid has 2 storylines. Janie has her own storyline. I don't like the fact that to participate in the second storyline, Alex lies to Bree and leaves the house and goes with John Sampson on a case. I don't like that part. He should not be lying to his spouse and technically his boss. So I don't like the fact that he lied to her to go out and help John Sampson. He just should have told her he was going to go help John Sampson. So that was that. So, then there's, also this book takes place over an extremely extended period of time, several months. The trial itself is day by day, but once, well, actually, it starts present, and then we skip back a couple of months, and then we come back to present, and then we shoot forward a few months, and it's a very extended period of time this book takes place. And there was a surprise at the end, and not talking storyline. So, like I said, we've got Alex on trial, and obviously, if James Patterson is going to continue the trial, obviously you know he's going to be found not guilty. You just assume that situation. I mean, he can't have his favorite cop going to jail. Some authors might pull that, where the person goes to jail for a couple days and other people investigate and end up free. But now Alex Cross has got to do this himself. And you wouldn't believe who saves Alex Cross's butt. Alright, I'll spoil it just a smidgen. His kid. Like I said, Allie's got a few good storylines going on here. And the kid's got a really good head on his shoulders for his age. Really smart kid. So, those are your storylines here. Alex on trial. The kidnapping of all these blonde girls. We've got a sub-story with the cop. I don't know if I spelled it right. A-A-I-Y-A, something like that. I wrote it down, but it doesn't really matter. You'll see it in the book. But, so like I said, it takes place over an extended period of time. And we have all these little subplots. The 2 big ones is the trial, which is over in 86 chapters. And then we do the kidnapping for a few more chapters. But then we have a lot of... Janie gets a good surprise. She's healing of her injury. Allie has about 3 storylines. It's really good. But like I said, I didn't like Alex lying to Bree about that. So, my other question was, this is book 25. And if I had known And I'm not going to do it right now because I just don't. I want to get to C.S. Harris. But if I had known that book 24 and a half was included, I might have read book 24 and a half before reading book 25. I did not know that book 24 and a half was in book 25 until after I finished reading book 25. You know, I complained about Jana D. Leon not putting her book. She should really do a printout of her books in the beginning of her books. But Patterson does them at the end. Lighting is bad. My computer lighting is so bad. I hope my audio is still here. If you've been watching my other books, look at all these books. Do you know anybody that writes this much? And you know, I think he's just trying to help other authors out by putting his name on their books, maybe doing some editing or something. Um, so now remember, look, look, this was your book, right? And then I just showed you the printout of all his other books. But look, there's still that much book left. Would you believe Alex Cross, I'm coming for you even more from the grave if I have to. To begin reading Crosskill and Alex Cross' story, turn the page. This is book 24 and a half or 24.4. I'm not going to go back and read it now. I would have, if I was going to read it, I would have read it before I read 25. And believe it or not, I am curious to know what occupation Alex takes up in Target Alex Cross. Because in this book, it was plain that he had chosen something, but we're not told what he was chosen. And it ends several months later. It skips again at the end several months. And Allie's going to learn how to fish. So if you could please hit the like and subscribe, I really appreciate it. And watch Alex squirm under the trial. But he's so busy. Oh, he also does some shrinking in this too. So he also plays psychiatrist. And that's when he discovers he's being fooled and other stuff too. But if you could please hit the like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in and have a good day.